Hey there, future millionaires! Welcome back to the channel. It's so good to have you here with me again. I hope you're having an absolutely amazing day, no matter where you are in this incredible world of ours. Alright, let's dive into what everyone's been asking about, XRP. So right now, if we pull up that one-day chart, we're sitting pretty at around $2.50. Now here's what's really interesting. XRP has been dancing between $2.40 and $2.60. And you know what that tells me? We're in classic consolidation mode, my friends. And when you zoom out to that 7-day chart, oh man, you can see it even clearer. Whew. This consolidation is like a coiled spring, just getting ready for the next big move upward. Now, here's where it gets exciting. I genuinely believe this next move is going to be huge. I'm talking about easily pushing above $3, and honestly, most people are predicting we'll blow right past $4. But here's my take. I think we're going to see a nice, steady climb upward before we enter that magical price discovery phase. And when could this happen? Well, if everything keeps moving the way it is right now, I'm expecting XRP to be well above $4 by the end of this month. Want to know why I'm so confident? Just look back at the 2017 chart with me. See that major crash right there? Well, guess what happened shortly after? That's right, we had an absolutely massive move upward. History has a funny way of repeating itself, doesn't it? So will history repeat itself? Look, nobody has a crystal ball here, but I've got to be honest with you. I'm feeling pretty optimistic that it's going to happen. And let's be real, I really want it to happen too. I mean, come on, who doesn't, right? I'm betting all of you watching are hoping for the same thing. But here's the thing about crypto, and this is what makes it so exciting. A lot can change in just 2 weeks. I mean, think about it. What if they suddenly reopen the government? What if those ETFs go live out of nowhere? We'll dive deeper into that in just a minute, so stick around. Now let's take a quick look at Bitcoin. We're back down under $113,000. And guess what? It's ranging too. And here's something important to remember. We're still following Bitcoin's lead right now. I know, some of you are probably thinking, look at XRP, it's in the red again today. But hold up, Bitcoin's red too, folks. We're still moving with Bitcoin for now, and that's totally normal. But here's where it gets really interesting. Eventually, we will break away from Bitcoin. Why? Because XRP actually has real utility, while Bitcoin, well, let's just say it doesn't have that same practical use case. That decoupling is coming, and when it does, that's when things could get really exciting. All right, here's where things get really interesting, and I think you're going to want to pay close attention to this. So we've got XRP ETF decisions coming up on October 25th. Mark that date on your calendars, people. But here's the kicker. Coinbase is going to be down for 4 hours on the exact same day, right during daylight trading hours. Now, call me crazy, but coincidence? I don't think so. Let me break this down for you. Coinbase has this scheduled upgrade plan for October 25th. You know, just your typical maintenance, right? Wink, wink. But here's the thing that's got my wheels turning. The ETFs aren't actually scheduled to go live on that specific day. So why the mysterious 4-hour downtime on such a crucial date? Makes you wonder what they're really preparing for behind the scenes, doesn't it? I mean, the timing is just a little too perfect if you ask me. What do you think? Are we looking at some serious preparation for something big, or am I just connecting dots that aren't there? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're thinking about this whole situation. They've been delayed because of the government shutdown. XRP ETF Countdown top expert reveals the timeline. Now, here's something really important that I want you to remember, and this comes straight from Nate Garassi, who really knows his stuff. He said that once this government shutdown finally ends, those spot crypto ETF floodgates are going to burst wide open. And you know what? I actually talked about this exact same thing in yesterday's video. I told you guys, and I'll say it again. Absolutely nothing is going to happen with these ETFs as long as our government stays shut down. It's like everything's just frozen in place right now. But here's what I'm really hoping for, and I think you are too. Hopefully they get this government reopened soon, and then we can watch Atkins fast-track these ETFs like we've all been waiting for. I mean, think about it. We're basically sitting here with all this incredible potential just waiting to be unleashed, but we need that government machinery to start running again first. It's kind of frustrating, but hey, that's just the reality of dealing with regulatory stuff, right? Once those doors open, though, man, I think we're going to see some serious action in the crypto space. Okay, here's something that's been driving me absolutely crazy, and I've got to call this out. You could have literally found this information with just a quick Google search, but apparently people aren't even bothering to do that anymore. Let me set the record straight, and this is important. Spot XRP ETFs are not going live on Saturday, October 18th. I don't know where this came from, but I've been seeing people all over social media saying things like, October 18th is the day. Every XRP holder is going to get rich overnight. Come on, guys. This has been delayed, and honestly, it feels like we're always waiting for something when it comes to XRP, doesn't it? I swear, it's like clockwork with XRP. We get a timeline, everyone gets excited, and then bam, something changes that timeline completely. Sound familiar? We've been down this road so many times. Remember the Ripple versus SEC case? Oh my gosh, every single time it looked like that nightmare was finally about to end, something would pop up and delay it all over again. We went through this cycle for what felt like forever. And now? Well, guess what's happening with the ETFs? Yep, the exact same pattern. It's like deja vu all over again, and honestly, it's pretty frustrating for all of us who've been holding and waiting patiently. This is a brilliant insight from Alex Cobb, and I think he's absolutely spot on. He says that when XRP hits its next major leg up, Bitcoiners are going to be genuinely worried about losing that #1 spot. And you know what? I totally agree. Let me be crystal clear about something. XRP is not bearish right now, not even close. And here's what I'm predicting is going to happen, so listen up. Once XRP really starts to break out, and I mean really break out, you're going to see the Bitcoin marketing machine kick into absolute overdrive. I'm talking full-scale defensive mode here. They're going to flood the mainstream media, discrediting Ripple and XRP left and right. You'll see them all over X, formerly Twitter, doing the exact same thing. It's going to be like watching a coordinated attack. But here's where it gets really interesting. Once XRP flips Ethereum, and trust me, I think it's going to happen, suddenly you'll have all these big-name analysts like Tom Lee coming out and saying things like, oh, it's just temporary. Ethereum's going to bounce right back and reclaim that #2 spot. Mark my words, people. We're going to see this exact scenario play out during this bull run. It's going to be like watching a playbook unfold in real time. Okay, here's something that's going to blow your mind, but it might also break your heart a little bit. I predict that 99% of XRP holders are going to sell somewhere between $10 and $20. Why? Because they just don't understand what XRP really is. Listen, XRP isn't just another crypto. It's a key piece of the new financial system we're stepping into right now. Sure, if we hit a bear market, the price might dip temporarily. But here's the game changer. Once XRP gets adopted at scale, it's going to completely decouple from Bitcoin. We're talking about XRP rising without ever looking back. And get this, David Schwartz himself says we're literally on the verge of institutional adoption. Think about what that means for a second. Once those big institutions jump in, mass adoption is going to follow so fast it'll make your head spin. Here's why this is incredible. These institutions are going to open up crypto to every single person on the planet. But here's the beautiful part. Most people won't even realize they're using crypto and blockchain technology. Picture this. People will be going about their normal day-to-day lives, making payments, transferring money, and in the background, blockchain will be the invisible engine powering everything. They'll be making real-time payments without even knowing they're running on blockchain rails and potentially using something like XRP. It's going to be seamless, invisible, and revolutionary all at the same time. Are you mentally prepared for this? So I came across this short video the other day, and they were claiming XRP is going to hit $1,850. And you know what? If that actually happens, I'm packing my bags and moving to some tropical island where I'll be sipping coconut drinks on the beach all day long. Whew. But let's be real here for a minute. I honestly think XRP is going to land somewhere in this first range I'm showing you, around that 3.618 level. Somewhere between $50 and maybe $170. Now that's if all our catalysts actually play out the way we're hoping. And here's what could really push us there. If Ripple finally gets that banking license, oh man, that's going to be absolutely massive for XRP. Plus, we've got to keep our eyes on how much institutional money flows in through those ETFs. That could be a real game changer too. Look, I'll be the first to admit, I think it's still way too early to predict exactly where XRP is heading. But $1,850 in this current run? That feels like a pretty big stretch to me, and I'm just not seeing it happen right now. Now don't get me wrong, Do I think it could happen eventually? Absolutely. Once utility really starts driving XRP's price, when it's being used for what it was actually designed for, there's definitely a good chance we could see those crazy numbers down the road. But wait! That's not even the most outrageous prediction I've seen today. You're not going to believe this one. So, I've been seeing a bunch of people calling out Crypto XAI Man on social media, but hold up. He didn't actually make this crazy prediction himself. He just used it in one of his videos. The person who really said this wild stuff was Jake Claver. Are you ready for this? Brace yourselves. XRP to $1 million. I know. Your jaw just hit the floor, right? $1 million per XRP. Let me play this for you so you can hear it straight from the source.
XRP to $1 million. Can XRP hit $1 million in the next 10 years? Is that possible?
I think, David Schwartz has talked about XRP being $1 million. I know that sounds like hopium, okay, but there's a lot of people that didn't think Bitcoin would get to $1 million. At this point, a lot of people are like, well, it's a foregone conclusion it'll get to $1 million. So, anyway, I think it's highly possible in the next 10 years, talking 2035, you could see $1 million XRP.
XRP to $1 million. XRP family, XRP army, let's get at least 1 million likes on this XRP to $1 million video. Yes, destroy the like button, join and subscribe, especially if you own XRP, because we are very bullish on XRP, and XRP will make us a lot of money, and XRP can hit $1 million. According to this video right here from this guy that I just played for you, $1 million XRP can happen in the next 10 years. Now, XRP is at $3 exactly. For XRP to hit $1 million, XRP would literally have to do a 300,000x from today's prices. Now, is that possible? Bitcoin in 2011 was at less than $3. So XRP is at less than $3 today, and Bitcoin about 14 years ago was at less than $3. And from $3, Bitcoin is now at over $100,000, and Bitcoin will easily reach $1 million in the coming years. So Bitcoin went from $3 to $100,000, and Bitcoin will go to $1 million. It's only a matter of time. So now XRP is at $3. Can XRP hit $1 million in the next 10, 15 years? Well, the short answer is yes, it is possible. Now, a lot of things would have to go right. XRP would literally have to be used as a currency all over the world, all over the planet, by everyone, by every company, every government. Everyone would have to use XRP for basically everything. Then, in that scenario, yes, XRP can reach $1 million. XRP was designed to serve the entire planet. From the very beginning, the team behind Ripple, David Schwartz, Chris Larson, and Arthur Brito, the three creators of the XRP cryptocurrency, they created XRP to improve on the flaws of Bitcoin. They saw what Bitcoin could not do, and they built a better version of Bitcoin, which is XRP. So if Bitcoin can reach $1 million from $3, then XRP can also reach $1 million from $3. A $1 million XRP means that XRP would have a market cap of $100 quadrillion. Yes, with a Q. 100 quadrillion. XRP is already being used by a bunch of institutions, corporations, governments, people, companies all over the world, CBDCs, central banks around the world, so many different organizations, governments, normal people are using XRP, but you have seen nothing yet. How many people do you know actually own XRP? From your parents, your friends, your family, your siblings, the people that you go to school with, that you work with, that you see in the streets. How many of them do you think actually own XRP? Ask yourself that question today as you're living your life. Look around. Look at the people around you and ask yourself how many of them actually own XRP. Not many. Not many at all. So that means that there is so much upside potential for XRP, and XRP can go to $1 million. Yes, you will have to be patient. It's not going to happen today, tomorrow, next week, next year, it's going to take at least 5 to 10 years minimum. And David Schwartz, the CTO of Ripple, in the past has spoken about how XRP at $1 million is way more efficient than XRP at $1. So the CTO of Ripple has literally spoken about this topic in the past, XRP to $1 million. It is possible. XRP to $1 million can happen. You do have to be patient. XRP will make us a lot of money. We are just getting started. XRP Army, join us, subscribe, destroy the like button. And I will see you very soon. Until next time, Crypto AI Man. Out.
You know what? I could actually see that happening. But here's the thing. It all depends on how much money and value is flowing through the XRP ledger. And let me tell you why I think this could be possible. It's not just about the money itself. It's about everything getting tokenized. I'm talking about your house, your car, literally everything around you becoming a tokenized asset. Imagine all of that running across the XRP ledger, with XRP moving all that incredible value around. But wait, there's more. We've also got to factor in that most countries will probably have gold-backed currencies by then. That means way more value in the system, and guess what? XRP can move anything of value. So 10 years from now, honestly, who really knows? You can't just say it'll never happen, because I've seen some absolutely crazy things in crypto. Let me take you back to the 2017 run for a second. XRP was trading for like 0.0001 cents, basically nothing. When people said it might hit 25 cents, everyone thought they were dreaming. But guess what happened? It shot up to $3.80. Can you believe that? Back then, even hitting $1 seemed impossible. People were saying XRP will never go above $1. But it completely shocked everyone. For this run, I'm thinking we'll see somewhere around $50 to $100, depending on how much institutional money flows in. But honestly, everyone's calling for $27, but what if it pulls another 2017-style shocker and hits $300 or $400? We really don't know yet. It's still too early to call. But $1 million in 10 years? Hey, stranger things have happened in crypto. All right, here's some absolutely massive news for XRP that just dropped. The Bank of France is officially testing Ripple's private ledger for a potential digital euro. This comes from a brand new Ulster University study that says Ripple's technology could literally power the future of Europe's money system. How incredible is that? And honestly, I think Europe's money is going to end up running across the XRP ledger. It just makes too much sense. But here's where it gets really interesting. They specifically mentioned the private ledger. And what have we been hearing from everyone who's been talking about this private ledger testing? They're saying the price of XRP is being tested at prices in the thousands. Think about that for a second. When these banks finally come out of their testing phase, that could become the actual daily price for XRP. So if XRP is already being tested in the thousands, and the banks transition from testing to live usage, we could be looking at XRP becoming a $2,000 or $3,000 asset practically overnight. We really don't know for sure, but the possibilities are mind-blowing. Now, some people have claimed they've actually seen these prices on the private ledger, but without solid confirmation, I'm staying cautiously optimistic. But here's what I've always said, and I still believe this. When we see those price glitches pop up randomly, that's them testing XRP behind the scenes. And those glitches? Well, they're going to lead to riches eventually. But hey, let's see what actually happens once they finally come out of that testing phase and go live. Now, shifting gears for a second, Fed Chair Powell had some interesting things to say today. He mentioned that the Fed is still on track for more rate cuts because labor market risks are outweighing any tariff-driven inflation concerns. So Powell was actually sounding pretty bullish today with all this talk about possible rate cuts. But here's the weird thing. I guess the market just wasn't buying it. I was honestly expecting to see either a massive pump or a major dump after Powell finished his speech. I mean, usually when the Fed chair speaks, the markets go absolutely crazy, right? But this time, the market barely moved at all. It was kind of anticlimactic, to be honest. Maybe the market just isn't counting on the Fed this time around. It's like traders are saying, yeah, okay, Powell, we've heard this before. Show us, don't tell us. It's actually pretty interesting when you think about it. The market might be becoming more independent and less reactive to Fed announcements. Or maybe everyone's just waiting to see if they actually follow through on these promises, instead of just reacting to the words. All right, everyone, here's something that's happening right now that you need to know about. DC FinTech Week just kicked off today, October 14th through the 17th, and guess who's going to be sharing the stage? Brad Garlinghouse, CEO of Ripple. And he's not just speaking to any ordinary crowd, he's going to be up there alongside Federal Reserve governors, EU commissioners, and a whole bunch of other incredible speakers. Oh, and Eleanor Tourette is going to be there on stage too. This is huge, people. So now we know for sure that Brad Garlinghouse is at DC FinTech Week this week. But here's what makes this even more exciting. Guess who else is going to be there? The ECB, that's the European Central Bank, and the IMF. I mean, when you've got Ripple's CEO in the same room as the International Monetary Fund and the European Central Bank, you know some serious conversations are happening behind the scenes. And speaking of the IMF, you've got to hear what they're saying about digital money right now. This is going to blow your mind.
But generally, you tell them to embrace it?
I'm telling countries, accept reality. Fiat money is moving digital. The developments in crypto, both unbacked and backed, they're happening with exponential speed. So yeah, you can try to lock your country away from this. Good luck with it. So yes, I'm telling my members, understand it and then decide for yourself how you're going to operate in this world. But do not close your eyes to reality.
So there you have it. Fiat money is going completely digital. And honestly, we all saw this coming from a mile away. We're absolutely headed toward a cashless society. And I know some of you are probably thinking, there's never going to be a cashless society. But come on, let's be real here for a second. When's the last time you actually used physical cash? Most people right now don't touch cash at all. They're swiping their cards, tapping their phones, using Apple Pay, Google Pay, you name it. Cash is already becoming a thing of the past for most of us. So if you still think we're not going to see a cashless society, I hate to break it to you, but you're absolutely wrong. And here's the kicker. They're going to make it super attractive for you to make the switch. Picture this. They're going to offer incentives to use digital money. Maybe when you convert your cash to digital currency, you get a 10% bonus. So for every dollar you cash in, boom, you get $1.10 in digital money. Who's going to say no to free money, right? This is exactly the direction the world is moving, and it's been happening for years now. People have been saying for years, this isn't going to happen in my lifetime. Well, guess what? This is going to happen within the next couple of years. Everything is accelerating at lightning speed, and now they're not even trying to hide it anymore. They're straight up telling us this is coming. Okay, this is absolutely wild. Google trends for altcoin season are literally exploding right now. Retail investors are finally waking up, and the altcoin season hype is getting very, very real. But here's the thing, and this is important. We're not actually in altcoin season yet. Think of it like this. Altcoin season is still loading, like when you're waiting for that perfect moment to hit play on your favorite movie. We're all just sitting here, waiting for it to officially kick off. But here's what's really exciting. Everybody is preparing right now for what's coming next. Most people can feel it in their bones that altcoin season is about to start, so they're positioning themselves while they still can. And honestly, if you're still sitting on the sidelines at this point, you're probably going to have some serious regrets over the next couple of months. I'm not trying to scare anyone, but the writing is on the wall. It's like being at the starting line of a race, and everyone around you is getting into position, stretching, and preparing to sprint. You can either join them now, or you can watch them take off while you're still trying to figure out where the starting line is. The smart money is already moving, the trends are exploding, and the countdown has basically begun. But just like I mentioned at the start of this video, when you zoom out to that 7-day chart, you can clearly see XRP is moving sideways right now. And you know what that usually means? We're building up for a big move upward. When's it going to happen? House, look, nobody has a crystal ball here, but we all know it's coming. The pressure is building, the pieces are falling into place, and it's just a matter of time. So until that breakout happens, here's what I need from all of you. Stay patient and stay positive. We're all in this journey together, and we're going to get rich together. All right, everyone, that's going to wrap up today's video. I genuinely want to thank each and every one of you for watching and being part of this amazing community. Your support means the world to me, and I truly appreciate all of you. I'll catch you in the next video with more updates, more analysis, and hopefully some incredible price action to talk about. Until then, have an absolutely fantastic night. Keep holding strong, and remember, we're